Hi, you guys. Hi, Coloring View. Hi, Terry Brett. Hi, Kristen. So we're going to try this abstract, the Oblivious Mind art again. Um, yeah, we'll see how we do. I'm going to try it on a different paper today, too. The first one I did last week with you guys was on just mixed media paper. That giant, humongous B paper that I bought. Um, I'm not a huge fan of that paper, honestly, but it was okay. The next one I did, which I can show you both of them, they're in the scavenger hunt book. The next one was on watercolor paper, and I liked it a lot better. So I thought, well, maybe today I'll do it on a different one. So hi, Missy. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Linda. Hugs to Tim. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Dorothy. So yeah, the paper I think makes all the difference. Plus a little bit of experience. Like this was the first one. I don't hate it. I mean, I like it okay. Hi, Kat. Um, and then this one I did, and I, of course, took a lot more time doing it, but it just came out better. So I'm wondering if watercolor paper isn't maybe better. I'm going to try it on some cardstock today with some real smooth surface. But yeah, I don't know. We'll just see how it turns out. So hi, Marguerite. We'll just see. And I'm going to do a totally different color scheme than I did before. So I don't know. I was going to watercolor today, but gotta wait. We got all the time in the world. See, Terry, I think that's it. You learn a little bit more. Of course, I did more cleanup on this one too. I did a better grid, and I did do more cleanup on it. So I had the luxury of time not being on stream. Yeah, next week I think I'm going to do watercolor. I was really conflicted because I was thinking, well, I wouldn't mind doing another Pantone card. I haven't done that in a while because I got into these Zentangle letters for the scavenger hunt, and now I'm just like immersed in that. And that's why I asked at Dee Dee's, do you guys ever get in like a art rut where you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again? Did Bossy Butt come in? Hi, Bossy Butt. And I'm kind of stuck right there right now between the letters and this. I'm a little bit obsessed. So, but being OCD, that shouldn't even surprise me. Hi, Annette. Um, so I don't know. We're going to try this one today, another one of these today, and then hopefully my obsession will subside and we can move on to other things. And I have done absolutely nothing else in the scavenger hunt. And I'm going to have to cut these down to fit in here, but who cares? Who cares? Hey, Dee Dee. So, yeah, we're going to do it again, like it or not. What else? I have a couple other things. Dee Dee, the package did come, and all I did was cut it open. I haven't taken the junk out yet. Hi, Joyce. Anybody else who came in? Chat's moving quick, so but I'll show you a couple things that I did finally hit the checkout button over at Amazon. I'm so bad. I put tons of stuff in my cart, just everything I see that I might want, and then I always wait 24 hours. Hi, Kimberly. And then a couple of weeks will go by, and I'll go through and I'll clean out the cart, decide that there's a ton of stuff that I really don't need. But the nail art brush came in, and I've already looked at it, but I put it all back in here just to show you guys. And I probably will use those today. But these are way cool if you want small brushes. Yeah, these are awesome. This is one thing, and it was cheap as hell. Of course, it's all made in China, but I broke my own rule. But who cares? I can I can break my own rules if I want, but man, if you want some fine detail, you guys, these are so small. Well, if you're working on nails, that makes sense, but I am not even the least bit sorry about these brushes. And who knows how long they'll last, but how often do I work that small, right? So, yeah, but you get a ton of stuff for little bits of money. Dee Dee showed a lot of them, but yeah, I'm really tickled with these. And this has a larger dot maker in it. So I'm going to take that out and we're going to use it today. Because I have some other ones. We'll just leave this whole thing out. So yeah, this was, I don't know who suggested this to Dee Dee, but look at that little tiny fan brush. So I haven't played with them yet, but maybe next week if I do watercolor, I'll need some really fine detail or something, right? Hi, Kat. Hi, B3 Barbie. B3 Barbie. I like that name. So yeah, if you're having second thoughts about doing these, I don't think you'll be disappointed. This set, these alone, I think are a great size. So I'm excited about those. And then this is kind of was a spur of the moment crazy purchase. Z showed it on her show, and it's a big circle maker, and it's called a Perfect Center Finder. It's much heavier than I expected, but you can go from 1 inch up to 9.5 inches. So Terry, get ready, get a plate out or something to make yourself a big circle, and then I'll tell you what the degrees are to get it broken up into set 7. But what Z did was took a big circle like this, and rather than doing planning in a book, she's breaking up into 7 equal spaces, and then drawing her day in each of the 7 days. So you get 1 sheet per week. So at the end of the year, you'd have like 52, right? Round filler. They had her at perfect, exactly, Kimberly. But you know what, Terry, don't buy it. Really, I'm not sure that it's going to be all that useful, mostly because the hole in the center is very large. It's almost like it was built for a nail or some damn thing. So I'm not sure how you would keep it solid enough where if you wanted, the 8.5, that you could actually draw it. Because, yeah, I'm not sure. Let me play with it before you order it, Terry, because I'm not sure I'm going to love that. I think there are easier ways. So hi, Flo. Anybody else that's come in? Yeah, Devin, did you see her weekly pages? And you don't write. I mean, I guess you could write in it. You can do what you want because you are the boss of everything in your world. But Z had drawn out her days, just little things from each of the days. And it's just so darn cute. I am going to do one. I'll probably have to make up stuff to put in the days because my days are just not that exciting. And I don't do that much other than sit here and art. Hi, Flo. So, yeah. And then my mailman came and Dee Dee sent me a package. And Dee Dee, I cut it. You know what? If you get mail from Dee Dee, I swear to God, she sits in her art room and thinks, okay, what can I do to make this absolutely impossible to get into? I swear she does. She must use a roll of tape on every freaking package she sends. I swear to God. This thing is destruction proof. Did you see my comment on that under the one you left for Z? Terry, I don't know if I did or if I didn't, honestly. Okay, here we go. Oh, Dee Dee, why do you make this so difficult? You need tools, you need knives, you need... Oh, my gosh. Okay, here we go. I think I'm into it now. Hang on, more tape. Dee Dee, my God. I'm buying tape. I'm buying stock in a tape company. Which brand do you use, Dee Dee? Because that's what I'm buying. Okay, I'm going to have to move the camera way out. And she told you, oh my gosh, I got monkey stickers. And this will go in scavenger hunt. So I'll just put it in there right now. Crazy for you. Be mine. Kisses back at you, girl. I love monkeys. Oh, yeah, I did see that, Terry. Yeah, guess we'll be... Oh, thanks, Dee Dee. We'll be doing this soon. You know we will be, Terry. Anything that's that cute and enticing, of course we're going to try it. Oh, you know what? Collage. I've been struggling with this whole collage thing. I love that, Dee Dee. I can't... No, I won't be collaging on this. I'll just own it. I won't be collaging. It's too cool. And a bookmark. I love these bookmarks, Dee Dee. The ones you sent Z were really cool too. So, yeah. Nice. Now I want to buy some of these little bookmark things. That is really pretty. Okay, put that in this. And then she buys me the Mary Engelbreit calendar every year because my Books a Million is about a little bit over an hour away. And I didn't think I was going to get up there this year. So I love Mary Engelbreit art. She's so talented. I just love her so much. A little pick-me-up, extra strength. Yeah. And I will cut out these little pictures and use them. I won't keep this whole envelope, I don't think. At some point, you just have to say, enough. You can't keep that. You cannot have that. So take the cardboard out. Can you guys see okay? I hope so. Look at the art. I won't use it as a calendar, mind you. Yeah, I love Mary Engelbreit too. Jammy life. This is my life right here. My fat ass sitting on a couch, eating junk. Only I usually don't have my computer. If I'm on the couch, I'm usually on my phone or the TV's on. But this is pretty much what my life is like. Only I'm older, I have more wrinkles, and my hair's longer. And my clothes have holes and paint on it. So if she'd have put holes and paint on the clothes, this could be me. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. I'm going to show that to Robert and say, you need to memorize it and repeat that daily. Her art is just so good. Like even her wallpaper, like everything is just so awesome. Which reminds me, I'm going to show you guys something else I found. Look at the dog. The dog has a hat on and a bow tie. How can you not love that? That's from Pride and Prejudice. Wouldn't surprise me, Flo. But Robert Vaughn needs to memorize it. There's just so much to see in her paintings or her drawings. Friendship isn't a big thing. It's a million little things. Isn't that the truth? It's kind of like life, really. That's life. It's all the little things. But like I pay attention to the borders that she does, and her compositions are always perfection. Hold fast. Look at, there's a little frog in the flower there. Can you see that? No, I can't get it up there. Sorry. Too much junk in the way. Who would put a frog up there? I am out with lanterns looking for myself. Well, I just have to look for my fat ass on the couch. I wonder if she's producing as much as she used to. Of course, she's, I think, older than me. So we are born in one day. We die in one day. We can change in one day. We can fall in love in one day. Anything can happen in just one day. A lot of truth in that. That's why you got to live each day to its fullest, you know? Now this, where there's a lot going on, I'll sit here and study this and look at a little doll on the porch, a little bed on the porch. I wish you lived next door. Dee Dee, if you live next door, that would just be dangerous. We'd both be in the poorhouse, but we'd be laughing a lot. She was beautiful, but not like those girls in the magazine. She was beautiful for the sparkle in her eyes when she talked about something she loved. She was beautiful for her ability to make other people smile, even if she was sad. No, she wasn't beautiful for something as temporary as her looks. She was beautiful. Deep down to her soul, she is beautiful. F. Scott Fitzgerald. One thing I will say about Mary Engelbrecht's art over the years, and I've studied it all, believe me, her faces have definitely matured. Yeah, she's changed over the years, which is a good thing. I think we all should change. Oh, I like that one. You're the sky. Everything else is just weather. Pema Chodron. I don't know. I've never heard that before, but I like it. I like just the body, the movement. I like that. And then on the days, like, I think this is what makes part of her product so nice, is like she'll add just little extras here and there, or the border around the pages, you know, just go that little bit of extra mile. She's 71. Okay, she's just a few years older than me. But yeah, by the time you're this age, you shouldn't have to work this hard. It actually doesn't take much to be considered a difficult woman. Tell me. That's why there are so many of us. Yeah. And now she's incorporating tattoos. None of her people ever had tattoos. But yeah, that's definitely a mature face. And look at the button on her dress. It's just so good. Here's that sign you've been looking for. Now, this may be my favorite one in the whole thing. Here's your sign. It is a gorgeous calendar, right? Okay, Buddhist nun. Thanks, Flo. Man, you come to my stream and I get smarter. That would be cool in one of Dee Dee's space collages. What's that? Here's your sign. I don't know who started that, but it was so good. Here's your sign. Show up, show up, show up. And isn't that true? I mean, I think when it comes to art, that's probably the most important thing. You just got to do it. It is very fun. But there's just so much detail about her work. It looks so simple and you'd think, oh, anybody could do that. But honestly, like, look at the detail in the, just the top of her dress. And of course, I love her little fairy people. He's got all little pencils and paint brushes and everything in his pockets. Little bags of more ideas. She's just so detailed. I love it. Thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you for thinking of me. Yeah, there is a circus in space. Dee Dee's already done that once. Actually, I ended up with some of the leftover art from that, I think, Dee Dee. Janet, for my put a bird on it prompt, I wrote the word it and put a bird on it. See, Barbara? That is totally what I'm talking about, girl. Thinking outside the box. Put a bird on it. All right, where's my cutting mat? Because I like being able to tape this down. I did cut. Okay, I thought I would do this abstract art a little bit smaller today. Well, one, I didn't finish the first week, and I may not finish today, even though I'm a little bit smarter. And let me show you, I did a little bit of experiments earlier when I was thinking about what I was going to use today. This is the cardstock, and it's just Georgia Pacific, probably 100-pound, pretty thick. And I wasn't sure if I had, I told Dee Dee I'd like to do a red and gray one, but I wasn't sure if I had any gray acrylic ink. So I thought, well, I have Noodler's ink and I have some Diamine ink. And so I tried it. I don't think it's going to work because when you put it down, the paper just absorbs it immediately. And those are inks that are designed for writing. So they're designed to be absorbed immediately and then dry really quickly. Otherwise, you'd smudge everything. But then I did go and look, and I did find some FW Cool Gray. So these are the color combinations that I thought of: red and gray and brown and blue. I like brown and blue together. P Money's mad. P Money will get unmad in the same panties he got mad in. That's how I always think about people who get mad about stupid shit. You get unmad in the same panties you got mad in. So I did end up with the acrylic ink, but I was trying to think of other products because Terry wants to try it again, and I don't want her to have to buy inks or something that she shouldn't have to use. So yeah, Terry, I think you're going to have to go with acrylic. Hi, Pam. Anybody else I missed coming in? I think you're going to have to go with something that's going to sit on the paper to do this a little bit longer. So yeah, but I think I'm going to do the red and gray on the cardstock. If I don't like it, I have a piece of B watercolor paper that I can work on. So yeah. But the Noodlers and just the regular inks you have, they're definitely not going to work on the cardstock. They just absorb and leave funky stuff where you start them. So yeah. All right, before I need that, I'm going to go ahead and draw myself. I think it was Sharon Marlowe who said she had tried it and had really struggled. And I think the thing that made that second attempt better is one, the little bit of experience I had. Plus, I gave myself a better grid so that when you're using your little homemade credit card tools, you have lines to work with so that you can keep your work a little bit straighter. So I'm going to go ahead and draw myself a grid because I think that made all the difference. And it's not going to be like 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. I'm just going to give myself some random lines because you don't know going in what's going to happen. And that's part of the thing I like about this. I do some thin lines, some thick lines, but I think the lines really help going in, and then they disappear into the background. So you don't even have to do a whole heck of a lot of cleanup. Don't worry, be happy. Thank you, Barbara. You're so good. Don't even have to remind you to do your job. So awesome. And I'm not sure that straight is all that important in anybody else's life, but I like it in mine. So just random grids. I don't know where the center of the paper is. Don't care. But I truly think this helped going into the second one. And I didn't go in with any expectations. You know, it was either going to work or it wasn't. And who cares either way. And I'm not sure even what's so darn appealing about it. There's just something so satisfying. You see the ruler? Am I the only person in this whole community who is so addicted to tools? I love tools. They just make life better. No rhyme or reason to where the lines are. I wish I had a smaller cutting board, but I do like the tape around the edges, so we're going to do that. How'd you get busted, Coloring View? Dee Dee's girl came out really good this morning, huh? The blouse at first, I was like, I'm not sure about this. But then when she added the white Posca on top, it was like, phew, saved again. And I'd love to be able to tell you that I've been doing really fun, exciting things. It kind of was, Dee Dee, because I thought, oh, that's one of the dangers of using those coloring cubes is you end up with stuff that may or may not work. But somehow, girl, you made it work, as always. Right, Devin? Yeah. It just, I don't know. Again, I think that comes with experience and knowledge, and most of us probably couldn't do it, but somehow, every single time she does it. All right, there we go. All right, I think I'm going to go with the red and gray. Put these over here and get them out of the way. I lose these constantly when I'm doing this, so I'm going to work hard today at not doing that. And the inks that I'm going to, well, I'll draw some circles and lines first, but I'm using the FW ink that we got at the Hobby Lobby clearance. I honestly was surprised when I found it. And then I chose Crimson Red. So, and these products seem to work well, so yeah, it's all good. All right, let's draw some circles. Oh, I put my circle template away, being all clean and organized like I try and be. And I don't know that it's so important that you use waterproof inks on this because you're not going to be adding water or anything. So, and because I'm working smaller, I'll use a smaller circle. Let's see. I'll just use this. It is permanent when dry. The problem I've been having with these, the Uniball Air, which I really like, is takes long to dry. So let's just add a circle, a complete circle up here. And it may dry better on this cover stock or cardstock than it did on the watercolor paper. I'm not seeing the shiny, so yeah, looks like it's drying a little bit better. That'll be better for me because I don't like waiting for stuff to dry. All right, now this is, I'm not sure that this is permanent ink in here. I don't know. We'll just try. And this is just a parallel pen. And I've got them in a bunch of different sizes, but I chose a little bit thinner one because, again, the size of the I kind of don't want it in the center. Yeah, let's move it over to this side. Yeah, this paper is definitely more absorbent, which I like. We'll just see what the problems come about. All right, one thing I did on that last one that I really liked was divide that circle. Hi, Kitty Cat Jen. But I didn't leave a place this time. Because right now I'm doing everything kind of on the grid, but I like that. Okay, we'll figure out later if it will happen, where I did that diagonal cutout in one of the circles. So we'll just see. I don't want to get too crazy until I know more. That was so funny, Ruth. The chocolate pudding. That ringtone does get your attention. Ruth, have you heard mine? My ringtone? I might have to have Dee Dee call so you can hear it. Okay, now that is sitting, and I'm going to have to be a little bit careful. It's sitting on top of the tape, which means I will get my elbow, my arm, my something in it. Okay. Ready? Let's go. I actually love tools also. That is why I can't go into doing crafts. I would have way too much. Over a lifetime view.
An idiot is attempting to reach you on your cellular device. An idiot is attempting to reach you on your cellular device. An idiot is attempting to reach you on your cellular device.
I'm just going to hang up, Dee Dee. So that doesn't scare you, but I miss a lot of calls too, because if my phone isn't with me, I don't hear it. So if you're actually interested in answering the phone, it was Dee Dee calling. But sometimes I'm out in public and my phone is in my purse or in my pocket or something. And people are looking around like, what? An idiot is attempting to reach you on your cellular device. Dee Dee knew all about it. I usually don't call Dee Dee an idiot to her face. No. All right. Somehow I feel like there's just too much stuff here annoying me. All right, we're going to be using red and gray. I'm trying to think what other tools I'm going to need before I get this started. Let's just jump right in. Again, I should have left one of those out. I'll grab the latest one. I think one of the things that makes this so appealing, it was this line that I ended up really liking, the diagonal one, because everything is so much, you know, grid-like, but then that one funky thing coming out, I think broke it up really nice. So yeah, but I think the fact that some of it goes this way, some goes this way, that's what makes this so appealing for me because of the OCD thing that's going on most of the time. I also learned the other day, let me find a good example of it. And I did clean some of this up, but how to do the circle, you know, around the edge of the circle. So if I want it to touch. So that was another really good thing. Yeah, if you haven't heard funny ringtones, go to the website Zedge, Z-E-D-G-E. They have some hilarious ringtones. You don't have the ink. See, that's the thing. I guess we could try. All right, before I actually get started, because after I get started, I'm going to have ink on me and everything. Where's my little extra piece of paper here? Because that was a question I had too for people who don't have the ink. Let's try real quick. Do you have watercolors? Regular drawing ink does not work well. I will say that. So but I was wondering about watercolor because you can make a puddle of watercolor. Problem with watercolor is it absorbs so darn quick. So we've got everything here real quick. We're just going to give it a go and see if we can create puddles and drag them. So if you don't have the inks, you can still give it a go. All right, experiment time. My brainy mess, also known as Ava. I like your brainy mess. Hi there, welcome and thanks for coming. There's nothing wrong with a nice unhealthy obsession. Does that include Twinkies? Let's pick a nice purple. The thing is, you just need to start with a puddle of product. I'm glad we did this because I didn't have a big enough mess. Now, this is just on mixed media paper, which is going to be pretty absorbent, okay? So if you do this, you're going to have to probably work quickly, but just make a puddle. Grab your credit card or anything with a good edge. You might have a little bit of difficulty getting some nice dark colors, but there is nothing wrong with that. So there you go. And you could do this with Crayola watercolors, anything that you can make a little puddle, I think probably is going to work. So that's kind of good to know. I have massive amounts. And it doesn't even leave a mark. See, that was the problem I had with, there you go. Answered that question right away. You can do it with your watercolors. Just make a little puddle and then drag it. I'm surprised it didn't make a mark like the ones did on the cardstock. Now, I don't know what I've done with those, but that was the thing I didn't like, was that it left a mark. All right, hang on. Here, this is what I'm talking about. The mark where you left the little puddle. I did not like that. And that would appear over and over. Yeah, see, that's, Terry, I think that's the clue, and that's why I'm going to try it on the, if I have another piece of this. I know I do, I just don't know what I did with it. Because it's been 5 minutes ago. Okay, here's a piece I cut off of the cardstock I'm using right now. Let's try it on that, because it might behave differently on different papers. So we'll just, I definitely would recommend something a little bit heavier than, say, copy paper for this. Okay, this is on the cover stock that I'm actually using today. It left a little bit of a mark, but I could live with that. So yeah, get on your watercolors. I'm not sure what else products you can make a little puddle of. If you have Magicals, anything, one of those, powdery products that you can just add water to. And then to actually, like I used a paintbrush to make my little puddle for this. But any of the other products, and you can get these really inexpensively, you can use an eyedropper or one of these little pipettes. I use these for everything. Well, to get ink out of bottles mostly is what I use. But you can get a package of these. And they're called pipettes for nothing. They're just cheap because they come from China. Okay? Did that answer your question? I'm glad we tried that because that had been a question in my mind. And I don't think the price or the quality of the watercolors is going to matter. So there you go. What about acrylic paint? Well, again, Terry, you could if you use the pipette. Or I guess just like I did with the watercolors, you could probably, let's try acrylic paint. What the hell? The ones I have, the craft paints, have a little squeeze out thing. The reason I didn't go directly to acrylic paints was because I just felt like it was going to really be hard to control with the squeeze out that's on this. But you could use a paintbrush on this. But you got to shake your acrylic paints. But now I remember where I got these. You can buy these little squeeze things for acrylic paint that you could put on too. Take the lid off. And then you could have more control. But I got these when Jen was with me up at Hobby Lobby. I'm not going to use it because I don't want to have to clean it. Now I'm going to have to clean it anyway. So, but let's do it this way, assuming you guys don't have the little nozzles. But you could put just a little pile out and use a paintbrush too. But let's see how much. Oops. Well, that's a big freaking mess. Yeah, see, I think acrylic paint, using it like this is just going to be too hard to control. But yeah, you could definitely use acrylic. If you water it down and dip your card in. That sounds like a mess, Ruth. And obviously this is old and I might have needed to shake it more. And I've thought about, well, on that one that I had out, right at the end, I thought, well, I wonder about mixing. So on this one, just for my own curiosity, I added some white to it and then drug it down. And I thought that might be really fun too, is to do like a mixture. So I don't know, Terry, it's probably just a matter of control and being the control freak that I am. Okay, I think you'll like it better if you use a paintbrush. Okay. So Terry, cancel your order for acrylic inks and use your acrylic paints and a paintbrush. All right, we learned something. I'm not sure that it's valuable what we learned, but we learned it. Woohoo! Experiment. That's the answer. It always is, Terry. Just play with your stuff and figure out what it does, what it doesn't do, what works well. I would think any product that you can turn into a little puddle is going to work. Now I've got to get this wet acrylic up or it will be everywhere. And you can tell by my clothing that that's something I really worry about because it's got holes and paint. All right. Time to get busy. And then to clean this, I really don't clean it. I just, I have a piece of paper and just smear it off. And it's clean enough for the next one. You're welcome, Terry. I think we all learned something. Any product that you can turn into a puddle is fair game. Get on it. Do it now. All right, here we go. But yeah, the acrylic paint, if you have these little nozzles, and I think they're really inexpensive as well, then you'd have a lot more control too. Looks like your jumper. I know. You'd think I could have one shirt that on days that I know I'm going to be doing something messy that I could put on and just let one piece of clothing get ruined. No, everything in my drawer is up for grabs. You can trash any or all of it out. So let's give this a go. I've shaken these once, but I'm going to shake them again. Acrylics separate, so if you're going to use acrylics, make sure you shake them really good. Those are the most comfy with the holes in the paints. Oh, you know what, Coloring View? There was a time that wearing something like this to the store would have been, I would never have considered it in a million years. Now I'm like, who cares? The day you offer to pay my bills is the day you can have an opinion about my clothing, my hair, my wrinkles, my anything. Until then, probably just keep your stupid opinion to yourself because I really don't care what you think. But the day you start paying my bills, yeah, you can have a vote, but not before then. That's true of everything in my life. I needed more ink. On the edges where you have the tape, it's a little bit bigger pain in the butt. See, the last time I did this, I was a little nervous about going over it multiple times and stuff like that. It's fine. You can do that. Words to the wise. There you go. I'm not even going to charge you for that. I will not take criticism. Exactly, Ruth. That's good words. Yeah. Hey, Barbara Clark. Did you have fun at line dancing the other day? The other day at Barbara Owens. Barbara Clark had to leave because she was going line dancing. And I thought, do people really go do fun stuff like that? Good on you. All right. So our colors, and I'm scared to death. I'm going to leave one of those bottles of ink open and I'm going to knock it right off the table. All right, let's work inside the circle. I hope I shook that good enough. Okay, see, it did leave a little bit of a mark up there where I let it sit for a little while. And that is truly the paper. So if you don't like that where it's a little bit darker where you left your puddle, use watercolor paper or don't use cardstock, because your paper is going to make a big, big difference. And with only 2 colors, it's going to be a little weird this time because I always had that third color to go to. This little one is nice, but the ink tends to puke out on the side, so. And I don't think you necessarily have to have a steady hand for this. Just be okay with whatever comes out. Okay, I'm going to do another thing this time. Since that's going to be a feature in this entire thing, I probably am going to emphasize it rather than fight it. And I'll show you in just, oops, I didn't want to do it there. Okay, ignore that. Now that's going to leave a mark too. Yeah, I'm going to have to think a little bit differently. I think. Yeah, this paper is definitely behaving different. I'm wondering if I want to get out the watercolor paper. I'll answer that. I'm going to do it on watercolor paper. Don't use cardstock. Slick cardstock really behaves differently. Okay. Sorry, we're starting over. But I've already got the paper cut, so I'll draw on that or experiment on that. Okay? Okay. Let's use watercolor paper. We'll like it better, I think. If you know it's going bad, just... I already learned, Dee Dee. I know. Just, it will only take a second. Just chill, dude. So if you find yourself struggling, it could be your paper choice. The mixed media was okay. She blamed it on the paper. Nettie, you don't want to go to the corner, do you? No, it definitely is the paper. Like the paper absorbing the ink that quick. The mixed media and the watercolor paper didn't do that. So I was going to fight that. Yeah, it was just cardstock, which for pen and ink generally is pretty darn good. But for this, apparently it's not a good choice. I will go ahead and try the Bristol though, Dee Dee. And that was Georgia Pacific. It was actually their high-end paper. So just depends on if you want a nice bright white, it is the best cardstock in my opinion. But the Neenah's not bad though either. All right. Okay, you guys are going to have to suffer through the ruler again. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Live and learn. But now I can do the circle, the partial circle, which I really like. So don't worry, be happy. Thank you, Barbara Clark. And the lines are really just to give you a straight line to work with, right? And there's no rhyme or reason to why I'm doing this for the new people coming in. I mean, it's not evenly spaced. It's just random spaces. Because I really don't know going in what I'm going to do. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Good thing I don't put all this stuff away as I go. All right, we'll go at this about the same. And if you're wondering why my circle template has all that stuff on it, that's just tape to hold it up off the paper so your ink doesn't flow back underneath the template. We'll actually only have one going off the page. Oh, and I forgot the to leave the cutout. Oh well. And if I'm going to use this ruler, I should put tape on it if I'm going to be inking up against it too. We're living dangerously right now. But I'm keeping this bent a little bit so the ink is not actually rubbing on that. Okay, we got to let that dry. That's the problem with the watercolor paper. Certain inks take a minute to dry on it. So let me hit it with a heat gun real quick. Good tip, Coloring View. Well, I've done enough inking. I know all the pitfalls, man. Every one of them. Because I've done them. You can buy rulers. I like this clear one. But you can buy rulers with cork backing. And that's why they have that. Is so that, yeah, your ink doesn't flow backwards under the ruler. No two are the same. Living on the edge, man. Living on the edge. Hang on just a second, you guys. I'm going to find out what's Robert's doing. Hang on. Okay, we're missing a golf cart key. Ugh. Hi, Jacqueline. Yeah. Golf cart key missing. That's bad news, man. Bad news. It better turn up or somebody's going to end up hurt. And it's not going to be me. Oh, no, I muted you guys so I could help Robert with what I knew he was having an issue with something because he was looking at the keyboard. We have a board with keys on it that is all the car keys, all the keys that we have for everything. And we have a lot of rolling stock around here. But it also is keys for our neighbors' houses. It's keys for everything. And I try and keep them labeled and always in their same spot. But I'm not the only one who messes with them. So if there's a problem, I'm promising you, it ain't me. Okay? I got a notification for it this morning, Devin, so I don't know if I never got on my computer again last night or what. But yeah, the notification was there this morning for Painty Girl. All right. We've got a basic drawing. Let's go. We'll start in a corner. That's not going to be enough ink. Okay. So I might be looking up later on the internet, on the Google machine, how to hotwire a golf cart. Just saying. So don't be afraid to go over what you've done. And that's what the lines enable you to do. You have a grid to work with. And I like the white space, and I'll probably clean that up since it's a little bit crooked there. I'll clean it up with a white pen later. Okay. Gonna do willy-nilly here. I'm just thinking, I think I'm gonna leave this for some doodling. So we'll do the gray. Inside the circle. And anything I cover up on the black, I can always go back and clean up. With any of it now I can clean up. See, I'm not crazy about the gray. Could be the consistency of the inks too. I do try and keep my hand out of the wet ink. Hot wiring vehicles. I wouldn't even know where to begin, Barbara, but I would still, I would still attempt it if I knew how to do it. He'll find the dang key. All right. I think I'll use this. I need to start a little reference book for myself of doodleage that I like to repeat. So I'll probably use the ones that are just stuck in my head right now. Tell me if I need to pull you guys down. Another thing I liked on that last one I did was the thinner lines. Oh, went up in there. Oh, well, that's what you get. And if there was any of this that I didn't like I'll clean up that gray there. I don't particularly like that. You can use white acrylic, or I just used a white jelly pen and it worked just fine. Thick black line to fix. Yeah, see, I'll fix that. Won't bother me. I can always go back, fix it. Don't care. Another thing is, like, if I want, okay, here, we'll just fix this right now because we can. Where it didn't, you know, and you may or may not want to go to this much trouble. Most of the time, I don't mind. Get out your handy dandy little paintbrush and fix it. But that, like that last one I did, I saved all the cleanup for last. Got the gray out, and then the other color, and just cleaned it up all at once right at the end. Do you like the red and gray, Dee Dee? I haven't decided yet if I do or not. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Bossy. I mean, I try and pay attention over there, but is that better? And if you want thinner lines, let me see which red pen I think will work. I mean, I didn't do this on the last one, but you certainly could. Let me see. Okay, that's a little too orange. But since I'm just playing, that one's too orange. Let me find a redder red. Probably. Okay, this one's going to be good. We're just going to try it because we can. where you could get some really thin lines in there. Just use a pen. So I'll probably do that. Plus, if you have a pen that you've mixed in there, you can make corrections later. You're killing Devin. Zoom in for the love of all that is holy. Okay, thank you, Ruth. I got it. Y'all are freaking out over there. Now I'm going to do one that has... This one will pull as far as it'll go, as long as it doesn't go outside the circle. And I'll just leave that little puddle of ink to dry. You know what? We're going to fix it. Here we go. Move up a bit. Damn, y'all are a bunch of whiners today, aren't you? Where's my little baby one? Probably knocked it off somewhere. There it is. This little tool turned out to be very useful to correct little things like this. Okay, Gabby's good. Oh, you guys can hear that? That's Robert's phone, and it's all the way downstairs. So whoever's trying to call him, SOL. They would be SOL even if I wasn't streaming. I would not run to answer the call. Because that's me. I'm just not going to do that. So this is really just a step at a time, you guys. No rhyme or reason. I don't know what I'm going to do next. One thing I do like is the checkerboards. And because this is much smaller, I'll do the checkerboard smaller. If I wasn't streaming, I might get out a ruler to do this, but you're going to see the organic version today. And again, the grids help with this. It's fun to try different things. Can you guys see okay? Ruth, feel free to yell at me all you want if there's something I need to fix or do. Because here's what's going to happen. I'm either going to pay attention or I'm going to just ignore you. I'm holding your breath. You're holding your breath, Mary. Don't hold your breath. Take a drink of whatever it is you're drinking and just go on. It's all good. Because at the end of the day, this is ink and paper. And if it looks like crap, I own a trash can and I don't have a problem using it. Well, you saw me do it with the cardstock. Just throw it away. Go, move on. Life's too short. Same thing with stupid people. They annoy you, move on. Ignore them. When it's done, you won't notice if it's a little bit crooked. or uneven. Next, well, I said I was gonna I could watercolor. I'm gonna do a I think I'm gonna do a Valentine's card next week, because isn't that the day before Valentine's? You getting 50s diner vibes? Yeah, they were definitely red and gray. You want me to draw a car hop on it, Devin? Roller skate. I like red and gray color combination, and I like the blue and the brown. I'm gonna do a blue and brown one. Blue and brown are kind of my colors. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 of the skinny ones again over here. I'm not going to worry about that touching, because I'm going to come in after it's dry with some white ink and fix it. I love it. Have trash can, not afraid to use it. There you go, Mary. That's how you have to go through life. Get out your trash can and use it. And then appreciate the things that you do right, you know? Not everything's going to come out every single time. It's just not. So, oh, I should do this from the top because I've got that curve. And the reason I do it on this is because I have to move it a lot. Well, mostly for the taped edges, but you have to move it a lot to keep your hand out of the wet ink. You know what I mean? And that actually is way too much paint for this, but we're going to do it anyway. Small areas are a little bit tougher, but that's okay. I'll do some cleanup here in a minute, and then you'll see how nice it can come out. And I was going to actually, in between there, do a black line, but it looks like I'm not going to be able to, so I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm having to look at this practically sideways because my camera's right in my head. Four-wheeler's back. Wonder if we found the golf cart key. Because hot wiring that bad boy every time I want to drive it will be a pain in my neck. All I can say for Mr. Vaughn, you better hope he found it. What's the ink? Now, this is acrylic ink. Most of the time, if I'm drawing in ink, I try and use a drawing pen or just any old ink pen. If you're going to use ink in a fountain pen, you need to buy specific ink for that. For this, acrylic ink is a really good application. Dries permanent. I think there are certain brands. Which brand did I tell you I had before, Dee Dee? The Bombay. The Bombay inks are India ink, and they're going to be more opaque. So, yeah, it just depends on the project, which I'm going to do, because different inks are composed different ways. So It really depends on the application. I'm using this because I had it. And I knew that I wanted something that I could make a little puddle with based on what the girl that I saw doing it, how she had done hers. And this is F&W. There's also Amsterdam. I think Hobby Lobby sells Amsterdam inks now, right? Bombay inks are really good. And then I noticed after we talked, Dee Dee, and I counted all the inks, I also have a bunch of these Liquitex inks. Now, I paid full price for these. I haven't tried them, but they're acrylics, so they're not going to behave much differently. And I think they're all basically the same, to be honest. I just think they're all. P.H. Martin are good. So it just depends what's available. The FW inks, these I have so much of because when they did the Hobby Lobby clearance, they were on sale for $1.50, normally $6. So it was almost like it would have been a crime not to buy them in my world. Yeah, it would have been a crime not to buy them. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup so you can see. Because I am being slow as heck today. Okay, just a Jelly Roll pen. Look how much I can clean up with just a white pen. That's why I don't necessarily care, like where this touches. Yeah, use a waterproof black. And it's never going to be perfect, but we don't care. But see how much you can clean up just doing that. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, look at, I stuck my hand in the wet ink. Ugh, do you know how mad I get when I do that? Hi, Ann. Hi, Lena. All right, heat gun. Dang it. It's all right. We can clean up everything. Yeah, all acrylic products, when dry, are waterproof. But if you want to thin them down, you can thin them down with water. But after they're dry, yeah, you're not moving them. Hi, Nanette. I'm probably going to use more black in this too, since I'm only using the two colors. And I haven't decided what I'm doing in that little space right there. Probably some more black dots. I only have a little bit of wet right there. Urgh. Circles are always a good thing. Circles and checkerboard. And on something like this, it's almost like there's zero pressure. So just try it. What's to lose? Y'all own a trash can, right? That's what I told you. See, when you clean it up, it makes a big difference. Now, I'm fighting the urge to get out a ruler, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I wanted to add this line back. Awesome sauce. That gray that obliterated the edge of that circle, I'm going to go ahead and extend that actually. Hopefully not. I'm going to add just a little bit extra ink. I'd rather have extra ink than not enough and have to go back and fix that. So, yeah. And this is just a cut up credit card or an ARP card. I get a lot of ARP cards. Do you guys get a lot of ARP cards? I've been getting them for 15 years now. You'd think those people would get the idea that I'm not interested. Did Linda come in? Oh, Lucy's sleeping on you. Thanks, Linda. Yeah, so you can't go in with any preconceived ideas, you guys. You really can't. And since I went ahead and obliterated that part of the circle, I think I'm going to go ahead and extend this down as well. So I'm going to cover up a screw up and just turn it into a design element, right? And obliterate this part of the circle as well. And that's fine. If you didn't know it was there, you thought it was never there. Now that's a good line. I like that. The thinner your paint, the quicker it dries, which is nice too. All right, time to add some red. Another thing you can do if you're really anal, which I have a tendency to be anal. When I did the watercolor swatch poster, and this I copied that whole thing from Lena. And she had used some thin washi tape. So I had found this, it is washi tape in 1/8 inch. So let's say I wanted to be kind of anal. And which way did I want to go? I want to go this way this time. I could make the edges absolutely perfect by using this masking tape. Oops. In a really small size. And I've thought about doing that, much like the watercolor poster. I think, well, maybe some of you haven't seen the watercolor poster. Oops, I'll take a picture and show it to you real quick. It's easier to take a new picture than it is to find the one on Instagram. 2 screw-ups equals design element. There you go, Devin. Especially when you go in with 0 expectations to begin with. Hang on. I'm getting it here. Hey, I have a message. Anybody who messages me goes, my God, why doesn't she answer messages? Because I didn't know it was there. All right, hang on. We're taking a picture right now. You're just going to see it with the shadows and everything. Okay. Hang on, I'll move the... Okay. That's the swatch poster that hangs on my wall. Lena did the first one, and I fell in love with it so much that I did like a month-long project of checking into all my watercolors, getting their pigments, blah, 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 blah. But the even spacing between each of those swatches was done with this little perfect washi masking tape. So, yeah. And that's just the shadows that you can see. And that little shiny thing at the bottom. Let me see. Yeah, come on, phone. That little shiny thing right down there is the my birthday present from Dee Dee. And it's actually reflecting. I was wondering what the heck was that, and I looked over there, and it's actually reflecting the watercolor swatches on that gold box. That's what that is down there. Oh, yeah, the plastic cards that you get, that's what I was talking about, not art cards. Did I confuse everybody? I'm sure I did. You'll get over it. I did. All right. I'm going to put a lot of ink here because I'm going to do all the way down that line if I can. If I can. Have multiples of these because you'll lose them a lot. All right. Get ready. Get set. Go. Keep in mind I'm having to look at this sideways. All right. Go as far as you can. And if you end up with a weird little space, you'll fill it with something else. Yeah, cards used for art. Oh, no, I think what you're thinking of is, I was saying AARP, AARP. Some of you may be too young to have gotten into their insane mailing list. It was AARP, AARP, the American Association of Retired Persons or something like that. So if you're not American, you may not even have AARP, but they are, yeah, it's AARP. Most people don't know that AARP is, in fact, an insurance company. And they make you think that they're going to give you all these great benefits for being old, when in fact, they just want to sell you insurance. I didn't know AARP was an insurance company until I don't know what I was watching or listening to, and it was just like, they're just an insurance company. Go figure. So yeah, AARP, AARP. Well, that's drawing I work. This is what I've tried to do is, well, one's drawing work somewhere else. Yep, AARP. I swear they send me an envelope every week, and it's like, dude, you've been doing this for how many years? Have you not figured out that I'm not going out with you? We're not dating. Stop already. All right, let's see if I can do this. This one I'm just going to let end however it ends. Okay, good. Now, if I wanted that to be perfect, probably what I do, well, I'll just go ahead and do it. I don't care if it's perfect or not. I would just start drawing from that point. But now I'll go ahead and start from this end. Now, this is something I learned the other day when I was doing it. Start from the other end and go backwards. And that's how you can keep the edges somewhat straight. But one of the things I liked on that blue one that I did, there were a couple of places. I might have fixed them on this one. Oh, no. Like right here where I ran out of ink early and the blue kept on going. is to do that checkerboard and just draw around the ink where it stopped. I like that. So if that happens, I'm really okay with that. Okay. What do we want to do now? Thinking. You like the blue one, Mary? Thank you. Yeah, this is the most recent one. I really, really enjoyed this. Another thing, okay, we're going to go ahead and incorporate that right in here. 3 colors, I think is a little bit easier because you always have that third option to go to. And all I'm doing now is putting, well, let me do it on screen so you guys can see. Do a little, oh, I'll move the camera in the ink I've already got out. How would that be? See, I put a little puddle of ink over there. Take the edge of my card. Now I have to bring you back over here. But I'm dipping in that little pile of ink. And again, the grid is helping me. I'm going to work right up to the edge of that grid as long as, and down to the red, and then I'll come with another color the other way. Now I just move this whole, oh, no, I didn't. I thought I moved this up into the ink. I was going to say that is so typical, but I just missed it. Boy, that was close call. Close call, girlies. Oops. And then where's my other size of card? How did it get up there? What the heck? Can you guys see, or did I move you up too far? Let me pull you back down. You're one smart cookie. Thanks, Devin, I am. Would you ever do a pink, black, gray? Yeah, I think I think this would be way cool even, if you had the selection of inks, is to do random ones like Dee does with the color boxes, is let something else decide your palette, because I'm a blue girl. If you come in my house, my kitchen is wallpapered in blue. I mean, I'm just blue. It's my go-to color every time, and it will be. I mean, I just love navy blue. So my furniture, blue and tan, and then maroon accents, or kind of a dark red accent. So I think we all have a tendency to go back to our color choices. And it probably wouldn't be a horrible thing to get outside your comfort zone, Ruth, for real. So if you like pink, black, and gray together, I'd say get on it, girl. These little dot tools are awesome. I could almost see myself doing that dot art because I love the dot tools so much. And again, all I did was make myself a little pile of red ink over there. And see how much of the page I used up doing that? But it's interesting. I could also add black in there, since black is kind of my third color. I don't count black as a color in this, though. Read and chat. Actually, Terry, I saw The Oblivious Mind has one that is black gray. It's gorgeous. But all of hers are because she has so much practice, right? I'm sitting over here guessing half the time about what I want to do. So, and then clean up your piles of ink or you'll have it all over everything. I know that because I've done it 1,000 times. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull this way. It might be in my head, but it seems like this gray ink is a little bit thinner or something. I don't know. It is behaving a little bit differently. And they're all gonna probably based on the pigments that are used in them. Yeah, Terry, you did see it? Yeah. Yeah, some of hers are colors I would never have chosen. But then I see hers and think, oh man. But keep in mind too, hers are being sold to hang on a wall. Mine aren't going to hang on a wall anywhere. They're going to go in a book somewhere and never be seen again, which is fine too. Okay, and I think down here, well, I don't know. I like to save that for funky little spaces that you don't have anything to fill in with. So, oh, you know what? All right, just thought of something that I could do. Come on, puke out a little bit of ink for me. There we go. We'll see how far we can pull that one. My drink is really in the way. Maybe I'll knock it off on the floor before we're done. Woohoo! I have to turn it so that I can see because I'm having to look around the camera. Oh, it almost went all the way. It's all right. We're going to leave that. Just like that. I'm going to hit it with a heat gun. So, oh, wait, though, because I've got that there. That's all right. Those little dots there are going to take a while to dry, and I somehow goofed up there. How will you fix the red indigo gray bleed? The gray indigo. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Now here, you can either use the red ink that you're using. On the blue one, I did get out a dip pen. Fix the red indigo gray bleed. Oh, where they cross each other, like down here. Probably I'll just draw a white line and I'll just ignore where they cover. Yeah. I don't have a gray pen out, so I'm going to go ahead and use the red. To me, it was easier just to use the red pen. But if you, and I should have let that dry a little bit more, but that's fine. But if you have a dip pen and you want to use the exact color, just get out a dip pen and use it. I may end up doing that before I'm done, but for now, this is okay. I guess I should get out a gray pen. Oh no, I'll use the dot tool. So you'll make a lot of little piles of your ink colors. And you'll have ink everywhere, but you'll get over it. Use the big dots where I can, and then in these smaller areas, I'll use the smaller dots. These dot tools are going to get such a workout. Yeah, where the red goes into the gray. I'll go ahead and, oops, I almost put my thing right back in there. Right after I just warned you guys. I'll go ahead and fix that right now for you so you can see how I'll end up doing that. I'll pick a place, probably right here. And I'll go ahead and make the red, because I'm going to straighten this up here for sure. And that's where the circle can end. And if I can still see that red just a little bit under there, I can just go over it again with the gray and make the gray a little bit more opaque. I don't think you're going to see it when all is said and done. And up here, like here, I'm not sure what I'll do. Let's just go ahead and, because I'm going to go ahead and recreate the edge of that circle. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I think it's entirely up to you. I don't think it has to bother you. If it does, just fix it. That's all. Get out all your tools. You're going to want to use them. Don't put your paintbrushes into acrylic paint, though, when they're dry. Get them wet first. Because you can straighten your lines. You can, you know. Is that what you meant? How am I going to fix that? Ingenuity is how you're going to fix it. But I don't generally do the cleanup until close to the end. Because I don't like getting the tools in and out and in and out and in and out. You know what I mean? All right. Let's do a red and gray little checkerboard over here. I spent my life cleaning up art that was going into production. I'm going to switch this way. So you learn to get really ingenious how to fix up a screw up, whether it was my screw up or somebody else's. If it was something that was going into production, I figured out how to clean it and make it print ready. That was my job. Especially with custom art. Where's my thicker one? Of course, we have much better tools now than we used to have when I was doing print production. Used to be we'd have to do cut and paste and stuff like that. Hell, you don't have to do that anymore. You've got whiteout. You've got, you're doing it on a computer. You know, scan it in once and then Procreate or use any other thing to clean it up. Like you don't have the headaches that I used to have. And some production people were pretty careless. Just saying. They didn't care that somebody else was going to clean up their mess. But honestly, I don't think I would like doing that job now like I did back then, because you did have to get ingenious sometimes. How am I going to obliterate that and recreate it so that it's not obvious and obnoxious? So now with computers and everything like they are, and the computers were being used before I quit working. So I had kind of gotten used to not having to do it. But when I was having to do it, like, okay, I'll give you an example. Typesetting math books and proofreading math books. You just learn to get, I'm going to use the smaller one. You just learn to get really creative to get it ready to go to print. Because it was never perfect. But the books that they sold had to be perfect, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, you can make the ink kind of opaque as you want, or as thin as you want. The gray actually is very opaque, which makes sense because probably all they did was use white and black, And a white acrylic is always going to be more opaque. That one the red mixed into, so that's cool. It takes a while for this acrylic to dry on that tape, so that's why I wipe it up. Because even though my shirt has ink on it, my intent is not to make it worse. I need to add some black down in here. So when I correct this, I'll make the white portions of this larger with my white pen, and then I'll go back in with black. Because I think one of the things that makes this appealing is the black. So I will go ahead and incorporate more black down in there. And maybe even in this one. Let's see. Which nib do I like best? Let's use this one. Just add some black in here. Probably not something you're even going to notice, but your brain will. Now see, I'm going to put my hand right in that if I'm not careful. I always got to be thinking, man. I don't think I'll add any black dots. Yep. No, I have an idea for Valentine's already, Kitty Jen. You don't trust people that are good in math? I didn't say I was good in math. Well, I actually am pretty good in math, but I'm not necessarily good in math. I typeset math books. All right. See, I want to get in here and start cleaning up, and it's just too early to do that. God, that fell out of my nose. Get out of there. So I will be adding some black down in here, and I haven't decided. One thing I thought that might be kind of fun. Let's just try it. Let me think what I can do to make. I'm going to hit it with a heat gun real quick. I'll just use my bigger tool, I think. Maybe ink would be the best. I'll let that dry naturally. I'm going to try it right here. All right, let's give it a go. Because I started with the black circles down here, so I thought that is an element that I want to repeat. So if you see something you really like, you can't draw perfect circles, so don't try. Repeat the elements that you like. So it will definitely make it more cohesive. And if that turns out to be something that really jacks with my brain, I'll go in and add white dots or something. Hi, Lisa. So that's probably what I'm going to do down here is throughout the whole piece, there will be different sizes of black circles. And at some point, it will be pretty pleasing to your brain. I'm hoping that's the plan, man. Another thing, and you'll see it in the other ones that I've done, this checkerboard, that's something that makes the whole thing more cohesive. So find an element that you particularly like and then repeat it. You know, like I did that edge of the paint card thing a couple different times on here. The checkerboard is another one of those elements. This squiggly line thing. So just pay attention to things that kind of are eye-catching or that are pleasing to you and repeat them, and you'll end up being happy with your end result, I think. Okay, I'm going to pull some, there's still just a little bit of wet there. And keep in mind, you can't wreck anything because all this was when you started was a piece of blank white paper. Yep, there's nothing wrong with a good checkerboard. Nothing at all. All right, we're getting into the middle of this. And I wouldn't like get out black ink and do a smear of the black. But a trace of black here and there is really not distasteful. But large areas of black, I think that would be a distraction. Probably I'm going to want more gray than that, but we'll see. See how far it smears before we, I didn't want to do that. Lots of cleanup going on there. Maybe we'll leave it. That was not my intent. It slipped. Oh, hi, Jasper. I did this by my own self over the weekend. And the thing about this one is it's hard to sit and do this for a long period of time. So this one I did in, say, 15, 20-minute increments over the weekend. It just sat here with all my stuff laying out, and I'd come in and work for 10 minutes and then let it dry, go do something else, come back. So yeah, this little element in here I thought was really weird, but yeah. All right. Now I got to fix this, so. We're going to try and fix it. We may or we may not. Thank you, Jasper. They're kind of fun. They're low expectation. You know, you can just do it, and if it comes out good, pat yourself on the back. If it doesn't, oh well, what have you lost? A piece of blank paper and some ink. Right? No downside. Now, one thing I haven't gotten into much, but I've thought about is the spaces with color. I haven't really doodled or designed in, but I'm thinking that might make it too busy. But I've thought, especially on this one where I've got this long piece of red, would I want to go in and do the card print or some little dots or now on this one I did add white down here into the ink. I kind of like that. So I have other thoughts about, you know, what I would try the next time or whatever. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to see, well, the gray is taking longer to dry for sure. For sure, for sure. All right, where's the red? Another thing is I try and change the direction of the stripes. You know, one going this way, a couple going this way. Up to you. But I think that's what kind of keeps your eye moving, you know? Okay, I got to finish these. Do whatever you got to do, Jasper. And I might be using too much ink this time because that was one thing I felt like I learned from the other day is put a little bit more ink down. And I may have just gone too far. So just, if you're going to try it, just test out different things and see what works for you. Right now I'm just smoothing out that edge. Okay. And if you move too quick, you'll get little spots of ink everywhere. But they cover up easily, so. Okay. That one I got pretty darn close, so I'm good with that. And the puddles of ink just dry a little darker. I don't mind that. I'll clean that up with white ink. Okay, okay. if this one comes out, yeah, like that, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to square it up. The blue that I used originally always ended up a blob on one side. So, okay, I think what I'm going to do, okay, how to tie this all together. I would say use 3 colors. The 2 colors is kind of difficult because I feel like I need to draw more, which I can. Let's go ahead and do some more of that checkerboard where I don't color it in. Thanks again for the calendar, Dee Dee. I was just sitting here thinking when I'm finished here, I'm going to look at it again. Guess I'll close up that end. Now this is something I've not done before. And there'll be no pattern to the colors. Just add them in. I'm going to have to look for my gray pen now. Actually, somebody showed the pen that I'm thinking about the other day. Was it? Oh, it was Zandra saying, "Oh, I got a pen to show you." And I already had it. They are very cool pens. Let's see how this one's going to match. Yeah, it'll be okay. This isn't the one she showed. It's called a PIN. Hopefully this won't be too noticeable if it's not the exact same gray. I just don't want to spend a lot of time looking for it. Because y'all are sitting here waiting. And I don't know if I'm going to like that or not, but until I do it, I won't know. So, and these are just kind of practice. If I did one for the wall, I'd be a whole hell of a lot more careful. But my house, this is more modern. This would not fit well in my house. Even though I like it and I'd like to hang it, you know, hang one like it, it definitely would feel out of place in my house. But see how easy it is to clean up with acrylic, and the jelly rolls don't seem to be bothered by the acrylic. So that's a great thing. I haven't used any, or I haven't wrecked any of the acrylic pens. Or the Jelly Roll pens messing on the acrylic. And usually acrylic is death to most pens. I'm not going to finish this before my time is up, so I'm going to go ahead and do some cleanup and some additional drawings so you kind of see how to fix it. And I'm not sure that the girl who actually does this does any cleanup at all. That's funny, Barbara. Last scene, hot wiring a golf cart. It's my own golf cart, so can you go to jail for hot wiring your own vehicles? The thing out here is it would take the police about a week to show up because we don't have police out here. Yeah, I'd be in California on my golf cart before they even got here to throw my dumb ass in jail. And then when he got here, I may know him, so I could talk him out of it. The where's that ruler? There's the ruler that I like. The police that used to serve this area was the son of a neighbor, so I knew him really well. So I never worried about getting in trouble. I'd probably just talk him out of it. And I should have let that white dry a little bit more, but it's fine. That's the thing about living in a small community. You guys, you do kind of know everybody. You know the policeman's parents, you know, like everybody seems to be related. Okay. And I want to repeat that circle like that. So probably should let that dry, but we're not going to. We're going to go ahead. And by adding this one, I've diluted that one a little bit. So if I add that, just that one little element multiple times, that one won't seem like a big old blob on the page because I'll repeat it several times. The gray is really kind of hard to work with, to be honest. Not necessarily a huge fan. I like it though. It is, Devin, you're right. It is giving me a 50s diner kind of feel. But I think on this one, it needs more doodling or something. You like the red included in this checkerboard down here? Yeah. And since I did it there, I may go back and add it there. I'll just wait and see how I feel when I'm done, but I probably will go back and add it there. And I'm waiting for that silly red to dry. It's taking forever. And at this point, I mean, like on the other one where I added the diagonal here, I still kept everything else pretty square. So as much as I'd like to add a diagonal on here, I don't think I'm going to. Thanks, Jen. All right, what do I want to do inside the... I think I am going to. I can always paint over it. That's another thing is I don't want to do it with, well, no, I want to use some black ink. Do I want to? Yes, I do. Okay. Just talk myself right into that. I'm going to go ahead and get out some black ink, and I think on some of these bigger gray areas, I've either got to add white back in there or black, and I'm going to start with black. If it doesn't work out, I can always just go right back over it with the gray. So don't think that if you try something that you're stuck. You can get out of it. Can you guys see? Don't want to put my cutting mat in the ink. I do like the way this random edges look. And this is the first time I've actually done, excuse me, done something on top of one of the colors. So I'll either like it or I won't. If I like it, I'll repeat it. And I'm not sure that I'm going to do another one of these. I mean, I might, but this is not something I'm going to do a lot of. It's been fun. But yeah, how many of them do you need? Right? Let's try some red dots in there. If we don't like it, paint over it. Who cares? This is all about learning. One thing for sure is when it gets out of balance, you can definitely feel it. So we'll let that dry and see how it feels. I think it's going to be okay. Thanks, Terry. So if you have the option of going in and working on top of the, you know, the gray, or I can go back in and do the red now too. I won't do all of them, but you have two options. You can add elements with white or black. So yeah, it opens up a whole range of other options. Now I did just put my mat in the ink. I knew I was going to. I told you. Clean it up. Okay, Ruth, I have to know, did you answer the scam call? I would only answer the scam call if I need an extended car warranty. Now I'm trying to think what I want to do over here with only the two colors. All right. we'll go ahead and add some gray, and maybe I'll do a larger gray and repeat that. Okay. Okay. You miss your Five Guys pizza? I never had Five Guys pizza, so you probably should be feeling sorry for me. If I wanted pizza in my area, I have the one Pizza Hut, I think in Veneta, closed, so you can't even get it there. Or they just opened up a new, well, just maybe in the last 6 months or so, they just opened up a new Domino's that you can go and pick up your pizza. It's just like a little outlet thing. You can have it delivered if you live in town, or you can drive up and pick it up yourself. I will do neither. Not that I don't like Domino's pizza. I'm not even sure I've ever had it, but that's part of the reason they don't deliver out here. And by the time you get it home, it's cold. Well, if you're not going to eat it hot, then don't even eat it. Just forget it. Either go into a restaurant and eat pizza, or do yourself a frozen one at home, because by the time you drag it home, it tastes like crap anyway. For real, for real. One of the problems of living rurally is you don't have all the fun stuff that you guys get. When I put that in there, I thought I'd like it. I'm not sure I like it. So what to do? What to do? What to do? You'll have to work out the problems later, goofballs. Look at, I just splattered red paint. Oh, well. I didn't do that with the blue. I wonder, I think it's a thicker ink. All right, clean that off. And use what you know works. Goofball. Well, I clean this off. Okay, I'll just leave that then. I'll straighten that up with a white pen and add some lines or something in there. All right. Now that I've decorated on that one, I'm going to go back in. Where'd I put my pen? There. So this will be my test piece to see if I like working on top of the colors or just leaving them alone and working around them. When you scrape the paint real thin, it dries really, really quickly. So if you're wondering why I stuck my hand on that, it was already dry. So, yeah. Yeah, I sure wish I had that third color to work with. So I'm going to recommend using 3 colors. It may, especially on your first one, it makes laying down the colors a lot easier. Oops, just dropped one on the floor. And I don't care if they're touching because I'll clean them up later. You saw how I did it. All right, time to draw. Let me pick up my little thing over here. I'm not sure I follow Coloring View on IG either. So we should know who she is. Let me hit this with the heat gun because I know that gray isn't dry yet. There it is. And that ink should dry pretty quickly. And I'm not going to put my hand in it. Until I do. With red and gray, what would have been my third color? Well, blue would always be safe. But I would have picked a color that was complementary to red, probably. Because gray, you can get away with almost anything. But if I'm using 2 colors, I do like red and gray together. Did I bump my camera? I do like the red and gray together. So yeah, it's probably another thing is if you used a real rich yellow, you could get away with a real rich yellow. But using the color box cards on this would be kind of fun too, where you got some really, really interesting color selections. I'm going to add just a little bit more ink on this one. There we go. And you never know what's actually going to work, so. But if you're going to go back in with the white gel pen or white later, be mindful of whether or not your inks are permanent. Teal would be okay. I could yeah, teal, you could get away with teal. A view is a view. It seems like I do follow you then. I just followed that the other day. I'm going to check real quick. Only takes a minute. Unless you've closed Instagram. All right. I'm going to do some more cleanup here. And then I'll have to finish this probably tomorrow. Again, I have no plans for dinner this evening, and I hate that. I really hate that. We end up with some really weird meals that way. I've been craving noodles. What does it mean when you're craving noodles? Everything I think to cook is a noodle base. That I need more carbs. Another, since I've added the black circles, another thing that I could add that would probably not be a huge distraction. I'll have to go over that. Would be white circles. So I might add those before I'm done. See, when you do just a little bit of cleanup, the difference it makes. So don't be afraid to go in later and alter it and clean it up. And yeah. Not sure what I want to do. Right now, I feel like it's fairly balanced. If you could see the whole thing would be really awesome. I think one thing I'm going to do. And I definitely will add more of the circles. So I goofed that one up. That one I did really cleanly. I'll have to correct my correction. How sad is that? Okay. Yeah, see, I'll figure out the IG thing tomorrow. Yeah, it's nice when you can go in and fix things. Very nice. Now, watercolor is a hard thing to go in and correct later. It's either right or it's not. It's just really hard to go in, except that if you're not a purist and you don't mind going in with colored pencil, even watercolor can be cleaned up. Just saying. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I'll go back in and add some more black lines here and there. Why is this camera not focusing? Focus, you freak. What the hell? Sorry, I don't know why it's not wanting to focus. There we go. You see why I wasn't worried? Yeah. You can always go back in and fix stuff. It's just the thinking ahead, you know, like. Now I'm trying to figure out what I want down in here. Let's do another one of these squiggly things. Where we can get some bigger And I'm going to use red on it too. I'm going to have to hit this with a heat gun though, so this ink doesn't move. I'm going to add another black circle right in here. Almost on the same plane as that other one. Hey, gun. What'd you say, Devin? I'll read right now. I don't always go back. I love to swatch too. Hence the poster on the wall. I could have done another checkerboard since this is so small. And if I'd have thought ahead, a checkerboard probably would have been preferable there. But who cares? Now we're here. Devin, I'm reading chat. I'll answer a question or say something snarky or do whatever you want right now. Sometimes I do go back and review the chat, but I'm speeding, you know, I do my own videos like at 3 times the speed. I really zoom through them just to see how the lighting and the camera and everything is behaving. I could care less about what I'm talking about. Okay, just send me a DM over on IG, and at some point in the evening, I do try and get over there. Usually when I'm so bored with what's on TV. Could they put more garbage on if they tried? Honestly, you guys, I am so sick of paying a ridiculous amount of money for the garbage that's on TV. I'm not even kidding you. Hey, Judy, I haven't seen you in forever. How's everything? Is the world treating you good? I hope. It better be. And how's the jewelry coming? Huh? Oh, I just put that ink out there and then move this right into it. All right. Now I'm just starting to do stupid stuff. Okay. Got to stop right there before I push it right in there. This poor thing is getting a bath tonight. Okay. Not enough space to use the big. I'm going to order a whole set of these, and I'm going to order bigger ones. Just saying. So if you see them in the near future, you'll know that I just went and ordered them because I wanted them. For big dots, small dots, every size dot. You don't watch TV? Well, I'm getting where there's nothing to watch, so yeah. It's all good. Okay, good, Judy. You hate your voice, you never go back. I mostly go back just to see how overall how it went, but I don't read chat usually unless I feel like there's something I miss. Oh, cool, Judy. That's awesome. Okay, I'm running. Look at what I almost just did. Like, is my memory about 30 seconds long or what? Another nice thing is to have pens with different nib widths, so that, you know, if I want to go back in and add a real thin line, I can do that. I like connecting. I just can't do it because I'm going to screw up those dots sure as anything if I start going in there now. See, I'm not sure what color I want to put there. I'm going to put red because the gray is there, but with that big red there, I'm not loving. Yeah, I'll add one more red thing, and then I'm about ready to call it a day. You do reply to comments. If I see them, I try to. But again, my YouTube notifications have been so jacked up, even on the comments. I get them late, or I don't get them at all. Nitwits is a lot nicer than nitwits. Oh, nibwits. Nibwits. I'm going to do this one thin. Hopefully there's enough ink there to go for, I used the bigger one. Yeah, to go for a while. We'll see. Don't worry about that. I'll clean it up later. That worked out pretty good. Someone made 4 years ago. Okay. In YouTube Studio, I hardly ever go there. I usually just wait for the notifications up in, I guess it's Google notifications. I don't know. And if they're not there, oh well. I should go into Studio. I should be more mindful about the whole thing. I'm just not. And I'm like thinking I'm going to change now is kind of ridiculous. Because I know me, and I'm probably not going to change that much. Okay, because I have the red here and the gray here, I'm thinking I want something different in there. I know what I'll do, and then I'm going to call it done. I'm going to put some wet ink out because I haven't made near a big enough mess yet. All right, I haven't done this with the red yet. And I'll go up into the gray like that. Now these, it would be a lot better if I could keep them somewhat straight, but you can't worry about it. I'll use a little bit more narrow one. Oh, that didn't make a black dot. Very nice. I don't know why it's not working well with the black ink. What the heck? After they dry, I can go up and straighten them up. I get out a medium size because this one has big on one end, real small on the other. Let's see if we got a medium one. If you don't have dot tools, you need to get some. Okay? Okay. All right, that's probably enough black dots in there. Maybe I'll go, well, I do have the gray pen. Let's see, but I have the brush nib one. I'm not sure I'm going to like that. No, let's try it. Because I haven't wrecked anything in a while. Okay. Bye, Dee Dee. I'm ready to call it a day myself, and I'll just finish this and post it on Instagram probably tomorrow, or wait and show you next Monday. Instagram people are probably saying, are you going to ever do anything else? Goofballs, slang for barbiturates. I don't know. I thought I would like this one a lot more. It's not horrible, but yeah, one thing I do need to do, since I put the red in there, I think I'm going to put some red down in here too. Working with two colors, I think, is just a little bit more challenging, you guys. So keep that in mind when you do your color choices. I think anything over more than 3 also becomes challenging, because then you got to start working out balance of the colors. But 2, I think, just doesn't get, well, you have black and white, but 2 doesn't give you enough options, you know? So I don't know. You guys try it and tell me what you think. I don't hate it, but my second blue one is definitely my favorite. But this one I just feel like is kind of bland. It's just bland. What's Marguerite talking about? Yeah, I'm not going to do the blue tape until tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm not going to finish it today because I only got 5 minutes. So I'm going to call it a day. And then you guys will have to wait to see the reveal for later. Now this one, when I do the tape reveal and have the white borders, like on this, I like the white borders. On this one, I may end up painting that 1/4 inch around the edge. I might paint it black. Don't you know? Don't you know? So yeah, you guys can wait till next Monday and see what I end up doing with it. But I have to say, I'm not loving this. I'm not hating it, but I'm not loving it. And this I'll have to add more too, because it's just too much white. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys give it a try. Another thing I could try, well, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's a small piece and I've done some pretty large areas that I'm not loving for sure. Maybe if I go in and do something with those big red blocks. Cleanup on this one won't take long though. Now that I have that much white area in here, after the white dries, I may go in with some dots or lines or something like that. Don't you know? All right, you guys, I'm ready to call it a day. So thanks so much for coming and hanging with me. I'll see you Wednesday at Dee Dee's for sure. Maybe at Kathy and Colleen's in the morning. I don't know yet what's going on tomorrow. So go out and do something fun. Maybe do some more doodles on the Reddit. That's what I'm thinking too, Devin, is I'm going to have to give this some thought. Hi, Safia. We're leaving now. Sorry, don't take it personal, but I'm done for the day. So, yeah, thanks for hanging with me. Go out and be kind. It's hard, I know, but really, really appreciate you guys. If you try it, tag me on IG. I want to see what other people are trying, okay? All right. Yeah, no, Safia, you're fine. All right, love you guys. See you later. Bye.